Hello, my name is Catherine Elliott, and today I'm going to discuss why I believe the Syrian refugees should be allowed into the United States. During my speech, I will address the states that oppose letting in the refugees and comments from a few of those states' representatives. I will also address and dispel rumors about the refugees, and finally, I will end with reasons why I think the refugees should be allowed in. So let's get started. According to CNN.com, more than half of the nation's governors say they oppose letting Syrian refugees into their states. Although the final say on this immigration issue will fall to the federal government, the states that are protesting admission of the refugees are Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Now, these states are basing their opposition on the recent attacks in Paris. They believe that the suspects in that case were Syrian refugees when they were actually found to be citizens of France and Belgium. New York Representative Peter King stated on Fox News that there are no vetting for the Syrian refugees because there are no databases and no government records in Syria, stating, "We do not know who these people are." Jim Lynch, representative for Ohio governor, stated, "The governor does not believe the United States should accept additional Syrian refugees because security and safety issues cannot be adequately addressed." Donald Trump stated during a rally in Beaumont, Texas, that we all have hearts. We all want people taken care of, but with the problems our country has to take in 250,000, some of whom are going to have problems, big problems, it's just insane. We would have to be insane. Other rumors based on the opposition of letting in the Syrian refugees is that the refugees are being steered towards Republican states. Now, data kept by the Refugee Processing Center shows that of the 1,900 Syrian refugees that have been allowed into the United States so far this calendar year, the calendar year is based on 1 January 2015 to November 20th, 2015. 1,200 of the 1,900 refugees were placed in states with Republican governors, and 650 refugees were placed in states with Democratic governors. Now, it would appear as though I've just made their case, but there are nearly twice as many states with Republican governors. Specifically, 31 states have Republican governors, and 18 states have Democratic governors. Another rumor on the Syrian refugees is that 77% of the refugees are young males that could potentially have ties to ISIS. The United Nations has stated of the 4 million registered Syrian refugees, 67% have been children under the age of 12 and women. Now, the assertion that 250 other refugees will be coming into the United States is also false because by law, the administration can only admit a little bit more than 10,000 refugees in fiscal year 2016, and no commitments have been made beyond that 10,000. The White House also states that the states cannot say no to the Syrian refugees, and the states that do not comply with the requirements will be breaking the law and could be subject to enforcement action, including suspension or termination of federally funded programs. These programs would not only help the Syrian refugees, they would help refugees from all countries. The reasons I think the Syrian refugees should be let into the United States are twofold, actually. The vetting process for refugees has increased since the attacks on September 11th. As a matter of fact, the U.S. has resettled nearly 800,000 refugees since September 11th, 2001. Of that 800,000, only 3 have been arrested for activities related to terrorism. This is due, once again, to the overhaul of the vetting process. Now, the UN also states that the U.S. government conducts an initial background check. The Department of Homeland Security and other federal agencies then further screen the candidates against counterterrorism databases. Refugees are permitted to live in the United States for a year and allowed to apply for a green card, which requires even more security screening. All in all, resettlement screening typically takes about 18 months. So, for safety to be the only reason why most of the states are opposing the settlement or allowing their Syrian refugees, I don't think that this is a valid argument because um, the U.S. has a responsibility to join the international community in assisting these representatives. And given our nation's safety and historical legacy as a refugee haven, um, in its prominent role in shaping the Middle East, I think we owe at least the American people and the Syrian government a discussion on this that is based on facts and not rumors. In conclusion, I believe that the United States is a country where the latest debates have included stances about all lives mattering. So I have a hard time understanding why we would turn our backs on people who have been literally forced out of their homes. The fear that the refugees would only add to our problems is baseless and unsupported. Furthermore, I believe that if you are in a position to help someone, you should, regardless of where they've come from. Thank you.